Welcome back to the channel, guys. So it's a full house right now in the Nigerian Spikes Uyo camp as they prepare for that South African game tomorrow evening. And the man that actually completed them 23 players arrived late yesterday, and I'm talking of no other one than Okoye, the goalkeeper. And I know it's late, we all know it's late, but again, it's still something positive for the team, especially considering the fact that he is going to be involved with them for the next 2 to 3 trainings. Of course, because they plan to have their training today, morning and evening sessions, which means it's going to obviously spend this time training with the team. And then hopefully tomorrow morning, they might still have a training, depending on how Coach Finidi feels about it. And of course, how the players themselves feel. If they are too tired from today's trainings, then they will definitely need to rest, for that game. But they'll probably also do sort of a drill, warm-up drills and all of that before the game. So I mentioned that Coach Finidi and his crew were very focused and fixed on training the guys that were available before the other guys came to join the camp. But a big advantage, is the fact that these 15 players that had been there from the start stand a high chance of actually being featured, for the starting 11. Of course, we're going to talk about that one, but it's just the norm. When you come to camp on time and you follow the process, you start with the coach, you start with the, with technical crew through the training, sending every single training sessions, then there's a high chance that you might be in the starter because, of course, Coach Finidi and his crew, they do not just do practice for practice sake. They also strategize on, what they're actually going to play in that game. So the players that are around, obviously, advantage. So from the looks of things, we might not get to see maybe the likes of Okoye in the starting bet in that South Africa game because by coming late, he already reduces his chances of actually making the starting 11. And considering the fact that Stanley Nwabali is also someone who's very informed. He's been able to establish himself as the Nigerian Super Eagles #1 goalkeeper. We saw that from last AFCON, and then he came on time. Relatively compared with Okoye, same thing goes for all the players who arrived late because they've missed a very important part of the training that Coach Finidi actually organized for this team. However, it's not a rule that the latecomers are going to have to stay in the bench in this South Africa game because it's still left for Coach Finidi to actually decide who he wants to start in that match. And again, we know that some of the most quality players that we have obviously came late. The likes of Lookman, of course, we talked about the fact that he had a good reason, genuine reason that made him to come late because, his club Atlanta had an understanding with NFF, which, if you would say it's probably, he's probably an exempt to that list because he has a good reason. And also the fact that the striking situation in the country delayed the players as well, like extra 1 day, 1.5 day, for the players that already arrived in Lagos. Again, the fitness and form of the player can actually be a determinant why Coach Finidi would decide to select that player for the starting bet. We saw Lookman, how he's been in form for, consecutive games, and he also scored and had an assist in the last game that he played on Sunday. I talked about that on this channel. So it's very likely that maybe we might get to see Lookman line up with, the first team for that South African game, even though he came late. But that's still left for Coach Finidi and his crew to actually decide the formation for this match. And it's going to be exciting to see the players and formation that Coach Finidi eventually picks. Again, it still depends on the training, how well these players perform in the trainings that they're going to have today, hopefully twice today, and then maybe one more time tomorrow before the game in the evening. But aside from that update, let me let you know that there's still a number of rumors coming out from Daniel Amokachi. Of course, the last time on this channel I talked about the rumors that have been circulating about his absence from the team. Of course, we've not seen him at all in the Uyo camp as Coach Finidi and his crew get to work. Supposedly the first assistant after Finidi is supposed to be the next in charge, but he was nowhere to be found, and that has obviously sparked speculations from Nigerians, everywhere on social media and real life, everywhere. Previous video, I talked about the fact that, one rumor is saying that he has resigned, and then the other rumor is saying that he actually took a genuine excuse from Coach Finidi, and Coach Finidi granted him the excuse. More profound rumor right now is that actually did not accept the offer given by NFF to him to become this first assistant head coach, that he in fact rejected that offer. The reason is because he says that he doesn't want to be paid on a pay per match basis, because that's reportedly the arrangement between NFF and the assistant coaches of Coach Finidi. Coach Finidi obviously closed the deal with NFF that's based on salary, like end of month salary, and it's really massive. We talked about that on this channel. But Amokachi, rejected the contract. That's the huge speculation coming up right now, that he would not want to be paid on a pay per match basis, that he wanted a end of month salary based kind of compensation from NFF. All of these are still not the fact, because NFF has not said anything. If there's any federation or anybody that has the right or has the real story about this thing, it has to be NFF, and they should be the ones to tell us the real truth, tell the world, tell the media the real truth. And we're still waiting on them to say that. Finidi as well knows. I think he knows the story. He might know the story. He might not know the story. The issue might be between Amokachi and NFF. So Finidi may not know the full story of it, but we definitely hope to get to know the full story when NFF releases their statement, in the coming hours. Even beyond that one, let me let you know that Iheanacho has actually spoken out a little bit to the media from the Uyo camp, and what senior man Kels has now said is the fact that their training has obviously been disrupted by the fact that that they didn't really have a full house for most of the training days. The 8 players who were initially stranded affected their training because Coach Finidi and his team didn't have all the players that they wanted to have that really big session that they wanted to have. But he's definitely glad right now, because all the players that are being expected are now in camp. So that big training, that big session, according to Kelechi, is obviously going to hold today, and hopefully they get to hold big sessions in the morning, evening of today, and hopefully tomorrow. So 3 sessions should be really robust for them to prepare ahead of that South African game. And to end this update, let me let you know that resourceful of Turkey winger Ibrahim Ala has expressed his delights, that he made the call-up to represent Nigerian Super Eagles in the coming World Cup qualifying games. Of course, he was a late call for that one after Nathan Tella withdrew from the squad because he had to deal with family issues. But this young man, Ibrahim Ala, gets his first call-up and is in contention to actually make his debut for Nigerian Super Eagles. He said that he's really pleased with with this opportunity, that it's a really great feeling for him. It's a privilege for him, in fact. He said he didn't expect it, but it's a privilege that he will definitely cherish for the rest of his life. He also pledges to give his 100% for the team if he's called upon to do so. And the man also feels privileged to play for the Nigerian team. He talks about the fact that there are loads of stars in this team, and that to come here and even play with the likes of all his colleagues is something of a blessing. That happens like once in a lifetime. So he's really, really excited to play with the guys and make an appearance for Nigerian Super Eagles. And that's the update for this minute. Thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to like and share the video. React to any of the stories that you like. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely day, guys. Stay tuned to the channel.